cannot blindly interchange between two courses. You cannot blindly interchange an additional learning courses, which is a T tag, as you can see, to a minor course and tag it as a minor and complete a minor degree after the placement. You cannot blindly do that. There are specific guidelines to do that. This snapshot that you are seeing for tagging is from the course information booklet. Again, I'll show you in a little while what is the course information booklet all about. You can not change any tag into minor course. If you want to do a minor degree, you have to take up the course as a minor course at the starting itself. If you want to change an additional learning course, you can change it up to institute elective later, but for a minor course, you have no choice. You have to take up a minor course as a minor course. So let's say at the beginning of third semester, you want to try out new courses. You take up an additional learning course and you got a good grade in that additional learning course. You got an A. Afterwards, you can tag it to institute elective or department elective if the department allows, and you can include it into your core major CPI. And these are the mostly tags that are around. The thing that is crossed is honors elective. These have been scrapped and you do not need to worry about that. Yeah, next one. So semester exchange. Semester exchange is one of the things. Exactly what is it? I'll brief you through it. That you do courses in another university, maybe abroad or maybe in India. It's totally dependent upon you. So how do you exactly go about it? So currently, the student contact of semester exchange is the ISIR, which is the Institute Secretary International Relations. Currently, he is Shubham Gupta. He is in his 4th year of study, and you can contact him anytime. For getting through the procedure of it, you can log in. You can go to ir.iitb.ac.in, which is the international relations site. Benefits of any semester exchange is, again, you will get to interact with a lot of new people. You will again get up into a new environment of college and go through that fresher procedure. You will have better research exposure of the institute. You will have a bigger network throughout this world, and of course there will be amazing places to see throughout this institute. So I'll walk you through the procedure for semester exchange. So this is the exchange mapper that the UGAC has made for semester exchanges. So what you need to do in semester exchange, you need to find out courses which you will be doing in that particular university during your semester exchange. So for that, you need to specify your department that these are these core courses that I will be doing here, and these are mapping in that university, and the course description is the same in that university, and please allow me to do a semester exchange. So this is the exchange mapper. So this is basically to see the past history of semester exchange students and in which universities they have been doing semester exchanges and what courses they have tagged as the current core courses. So let's suppose you want to see energy science and engineering all semesters and batch year, let's suppose 2016 and 17. All universities, and you click on submit. You get a lot of student details. Course name in X university is Exchange University's course name and the course code. So you can look that same course up on that university, and it will save you a lot of time for course mapping. Next is what you need to do on ir.iitb.ac.in. So just go to ir.iitb.ac.in and go to student exchange. Then there is proper specified process for outbound exchange students, and then you can go through all of those processes. The thing to keep in mind before applying for a semester exchange is the memorandums of understanding. So please understand, you cannot do a semester exchange to any university. You have to do semester exchanges to specified university which IITB has a memorandum of understanding. So you can click on the MOUs and get all MOUs that IITB has signed up. There are a lot of MOUs. You will not have much problem in traveling around the world. And the other MOU that IITB has signed up is with all the other IITs. So you can go up to any other IIT, maybe spend a lot of time with your close friends, or a lot of other IITs have specified research, like IIT Madras has combustion engines lab, and you can go up on a semester exchange in IIT Madras and get a lot of insights on combustion engines and all that stuff. So semester exchange, one of the key stuff is who will pay the money. That it is a little costly, and there are a lot of scholarships like DART for Germany or Erasmus for Spain. And eligibility for a semester exchange is, again, you do not have to have any backlogs or FRs in any courses, any core courses. Again, there will be a session called Exchange 101 at the end of the next semester in the autumn semester, which will be taken by the ISI of Shubham Gupta, and he will explain these details in a lot depth. So I'll walk you through the extra resources the undergraduate academic council has made for you guys to help you guys. So one of the things is CDEEP is Center for Distance Engineering Education Program. I think you guys must have gone through these lectures and stuff before your quizzes, right? So you go up to these, you find the lectures on YouTube. So what basically it is, there is the CDEEP office in the institute, and it records lectures for professors with the consent of professors, and shares it up on YouTube and other student platforms. If you want a lecture to be recorded on CD, you can either contact the Student Support Services head, which is me, Madhav Gupta, or you can ask the professor to contact the CD head. The students can also find courses that are recorded in CD in the current semester, and I think a lot of courses are there on CD. The benefits that you can get from CD is, again, last minute quiz preparations, and you can play and pause professors based on your will, etc. The next is NPTEL, which is National Program for Technology Enhanced Learning. It is basically Coursera for IITPs, and it is Coursera run by IITPs, and you can log into that and do any courses from the professors from any of the IITs. Next is IITPX. It is again the same as NPTEL, but it is run by IIT Bombay specifically. It is an upcoming platform, and a lot of professors are currently if you register for a course on ASC, the professors will register you on IITPX, and then you have to do all the assignments and stuff on IITPX. So it is a kind of Moodle-like platform for courses for IIT Bombay. Next is the UG rulebook. Again, you can find it up on Google. You just type in UG rulebook IIT Bombay, and you can get the UG rulebook. I would recommend that you guys read it and go through the UG rulebook so that you are a better and informed person for the upcoming years. This contains all the rules for minors and honors and everything. Next is the course information booklet, which is prepared by the Student Support Services. Again, we will be releasing it at the end of the summer vacation, so you do not need to Google it right now. But the thing about this is, this will contain all the minor course reviews and minor reviews, and again, as I mentioned in the in the presentation, that HSS electives and HSS elective course reviews. So this contains a lot of course-based information of the institute. Next is the UG information booklet. This is again prepared by the Student Support Services, and this contains mostly the things which are happening in the institute. This is a very general booklet for students in IIT Bombay, and I recommend you to go through it. And again, we will update it and release it at the near end or mid of the summer. The next thing is UGAC Wikipedia. We have tried to make it as extensive as possible. It is basically Wikipedia for academics in IIT Bombay, and you can click on any of the things like registrations, and you will get everything regarding registrations on this. Again, you can search it up on Google UG Academics IDB and you will get it. Exchange Mapper I have already told you about. This is again how you procure the minor courses, the search CS minor courses or something like that. CS minor courses IDB, and you will get whatever courses are there in that minor. So yeah, aerospace minor, and you get all these courses and chemical engineering. This is a little outdated because civil engineering minor has been screamed lately, and yeah, that is mostly it. Just look it up. Just follow our page, Student Support Services, for more resources and stuff. Follow the Undergraduate Academic Council page for more resources. And that is mostly the resources that we have right now.
All these courses was which helped me, gain further insight into designing. And after that, IDC was a platform like which gave me an opportunity to explore myself in the field of designing. I was into after that I choose I was a part of reset team, so that was also because I developed my interest in designing, so I chose to be a design manager at reset. That's more of it. If you generally want to have a great idea about ITC, like you can open some of the courses at Swayam website and everything. You will get the courses online over there.
For me, I'm a final year undergraduate in mechanical engineering. I've completed my CS minor. So I'll start with some basic things about. So I'll start with why I wanted to do the minor. So why I wanted to do the minor was because I was into programming and development and making websites and all. So if you're generally into coding and you want to do something, you have to do at least a few courses of the minor. Maybe not complete the minor, but there are some courses that you need to do. If you're looking for a job in CS later, or internships, or you just want to have fun with programming, then this is something that you must do. There are a few courses I mentioned them. So yeah, this is why I took the minor. Second, the course that you will need if you want to do programming is DSA, which is Data Structures and Algorithms. It is run in your third semester, and it has around 140 students or so. So if you are into, you should get it. The cutoffs won't be too high for this one. And this is essential if you want to go forward in the minor, because this will be a prereq for all other courses. And this is also essential if you're looking for a job, because the questions and interviews will be based on this. And if you're actually building an application, you will need the theory used in data structures and algorithms. Even if you don't get the course, it's fine, you can do it on your own online. But it's more structured this way. About the other courses that are there in the CS minor, there is machine learning, which is common now, a lot of people want to do it. So it's a good course, and the advantage with it is there are multiple courses running in parallel with machine learning. When DSA will be running, no one else will take any other course in the minor. Everyone will take DSA. For ML, there will be other courses in parallel, so if you want to do it again, you can get it. You can always talk to them. So I'll move on to the registration part later, but just the courses now. So the other courses are operating systems and applied algorithms and analysis and algorithms, which are specific courses. You don't need to do them. They're not essential for programming, but you should take them if you're into, if you really want to work in CS. Now, coming to the more important part, which is actually getting those courses. So I'm not sure if they mentioned it, but there's a CPI-based sorting on whether you'll get the minor. There's something called a pre-registration, where all these courses are listed, you register for them, and there's a cap on all of these courses. So the topmost CPI will get those, and then it's done. After that, so if you can get in like this, is perfect, you'll get all the courses you want. After that, there's a wait list. And this wait list is first come, first served. So the first one who registers for it later, when normal registration is open, they will get it. And then then it doesn't depend on the CPI. So if you're very into and you don't have a very high CPI, then this is something you should try for. You will definitely get the course. I know friends who completed the entire minor without having the cutoff for a single course. So this is something that works, but you have to try hard to be the first one to register for it. And the third way to get a course is talk to the professor. If you've not gotten in through the CPI cutoff or through the waitlist, then not for DSA but for other courses such as machine learning and the other ones which are more specific, there are fewer people in these courses and the profs are very keen on teaching a lot of students. They normally have like 60 students and that's it. So if you talk to the professor and you tell them that you're into in doing this, you really want to do this course or you're working on a project or something which requires this, they will clear the waitlist and teach you in. So that's the third way of getting into the course. And yeah, overall, how the CS minor helps is it will genuinely help you during your internships at your places. A lot of companies will be looking for students with CS minors. If you're not a CS student and you want to get a CS job, obviously there are some jobs that you cannot get at all. Those companies will not open for you. And there are a lot of jobs which will open for both of you, but only the two of you, people with a CS major and a CS minor. So if you're into programming and you want a job, you should do the minor, otherwise a lot of these jobs will not be available for you. And the third piece is for the companies which are open for everyone. And you guys don't know what placement, but a lot of companies will be looking for coders. Even companies that you won't expect to, such as Boeing, which is an Asian company, will be looking for coders. There are mech companies such as Bosch, which will be looking for coders. So yeah, if you'll have an advantage over all other people in these companies if you have a CS minor. So it is really good. And the theory is good. The professors are really good in CS department. And all of them follow their own ethics. Not allowed to cheat. They're very chill. You can postpone quizzes easily. If you have a flipped classroom, you can convince your professor to not take one class. So, if you guys don't know what flipped classroom is, there will be a few courses where the professor will not teach you, especially in the CS department, and they'll have online lectures for them. You have to watch those lectures every week, and you still attend class lectures. So the good thing about CS profs are they are into rules and they really appreciate the way rules are worked out about the credit hours and all that. So if you ever feel that you're spending too much time on a course in the CS department because of these online lectures, we actually bargain with the professor. So your minor classes are 2 classes per week, 1.5 hours each. So after 2 weeks, we were bored of seeing the lectures and going to class again and again. So you were able to bargain with the professor that either he has to increase the number of credits for the course, which is from 6 to 10, which is what we bargained for, or he has to give us one छुट्टी, मतलब we will not come to class on Wednesday. So he agreed to that. We didn't have class on Wednesdays, and we only went on Friday. So yeah, that's the good thing about CS professors. They will acknowledge rules and the way things are. That won't be true for a lot of other departments.
Walk you through the branch change rules for the institute. The eligibility criteria for a branch change should be that any student should not have a backlog at the end of first year, and the second is 8 plus CPI for a general or OBC student, and 7 plus for a PWD, SC or ST student. A person is awarded a branch change only and only if one of these two sets are satisfied of the person. The first set is there is a seat available in branch B, the branch that the student is changing it to. Second is the strength of branch A doesn't fall below 75%. The third is no student of CPI higher than the current student is being denied a branch A. So set 2 is the CPI of the student should be at least 9 and there is a seat available in branch B. So let's suppose the branch A is energy science and engineering and branch B is computer science and engineering, and the sanctioned strength for computer science is 100 students. So they cannot exceed more than 110 students, right? And the current CPI of my current CPI is, let's suppose, 9.56, which is a lot. And the current CPI I have is 9.56, and then I want to branch it in computer science. But there are 11 students who want to branch it in computer science higher than my CPI, and they have applied for branching. And again, they would be satisfying set 2 of the branching criteria, right? And then again, they would get the branching. And the rule is that any branch cannot exceed more than 10% of the sanctioned strength. So I will be denied a branching into computer science. If suppose I am a set 1 student, I have a CPI above 8 and my branch strength is not falling below 75% and I want to branch it into computer science. But again, this a student higher than me, a student higher CPI 9.56 is being denied a branch into computer science because of set 2, right? Because of that rule, that 10% sample strength cannot be accommodated more. So that is why I will be denied a branches again. So these are the two sets which are completely exhaustive, and you need to take in mind of the you need to take these sets into consideration. So I'm Ritesh. I'm a third year CSE undergraduate, and yeah, I have completed most of my courses in the maths minor. Yeah, so I'm here to discuss about the same. So like any other minor, it requires you to complete 30 credits in the mathematics department. So most of the other departments have 6 credit courses for the minor degree, while mathematics has 8 credit courses. So you need to complete only 4 courses in the mathematics department to complete a minor degree. So yeah, I'll tell you a bit about the courses that are available. So the first course is real analysis. It is the closest to MA 105. So it is a more rigorous extension of MA 105. So if you liked MA 105, you're probably going to like real analysis course as well. And like I've heard that it is pretty useful for electrical department guys because yeah, you need to have a lot of knowledge later in your later courses, a bit of real and complex analysis. So yeah, I mean that's one point. Then apart from that, the second course is complex analysis, which talks about sequences, series, and functions of complex numbers. So yeah, again it is a bit similar to real analysis except that it is extended to the whole set of complex numbers instead of the real numbers. Yeah. So yeah, the third course is basic algebra, which introduces you to abstract algebra, which most of us haven't studied during like our JEE preparation. So yeah, that is a completely new course, and yeah, it is a very powerful notion too. So yeah, and the last course is general topology. It talks about topology, metric spaces, things like that. So I mean, mathematics minor has been a very popular choice over the years among people who have high CPI, but many of them tend to withdraw from the minor after like taking one course or two, and it's fine. I mean, you can give it a try if you think that you like mathematics, and so maybe after one course you might realize that like it's not your cup of tea. So yeah, that's completely fine. Minor is for trying out whether I mean you really like the field, and if you really do like it and you want to pursue higher studies, it acts as a like it can be a very good degree to get so that you can pursue higher studies in the subject. So yeah, that's mostly about it. And there is one other thing like the order of courses which you might take in the mathematics department because there are 2 courses which run in alternate years and not alternate semesters. So I mean it's very difficult to complete the minor itself. So like the order for you guys should be like real analysis followed by complex analysis followed by basic algebra and then general topology.
So, hey, my name is Bhushan. I'm a third year student in MEMS department and I have done 4 courses in electrical engineering minor. Left with one to go, so it's good. So there are a few things that you should probably know about electrical minor. It's a very versatile minor, as in you can find application in almost any department that you are in, mainly MEMS, mechanical engineering, even I would say chemical, I guess. So it's a pretty versatile minor, and I can assure you that doing it will definitely not be a waste. As in, you will not be able to say that I did this and I didn't find any use of this in my core courses. That I can assure you. So I'll tell you the pros and cons of the minor because I think you should know the cons as well. That is a big thing before choosing a minor. So again, as I said, a very versatile minor. You can find applications anywhere. The professors are really well settled as in they have been taking the courses for some 3 or 4 years now. So you won't face the problems which you face in new profs. The course is not well structured or the prof just doesn't get the student. That kind of problems you won't be facing. The courses are really interesting and some of them are actually quite similar to the core courses that you will do. For example, many of people here will do E101, Introduction to Electronics. So many of the minor like digital electronics and analog is pretty similar to that course. So that may be counted as a con or as a pro depending on what you do. Like you might find the core courses easier if you have done the minor or you might find it's pretty repetitive. So it's up to you what to think about it. So the courses that run are, I'll just list them because I'm not going to elaborate because I think you can find the information anywhere. The digital electronics, analog, power electronics, signals and systems, semiconductor devices, and probability and random processes. So you have 6 courses, you have 5 options, you have encouraged to do 5 of them. So that's pretty much it about the minor. Another thing that I wish to stress upon specifically for you guys is that not many people tell this, but this is some advice that I have found really important. Do not do a minor because this minor will help me get a better job. Please do not do that because that absolutely never works in the end. Please do a minor because you like the minor or you are genuinely interested in the subject or you want to find out if the subject is your cup of tea. But please, I've seen many people take some minors because some seniors told them, this will help you get shortlisted in companies and all. Believe me, if you are doing good in what you are doing, it won't matter at all. So that is one thing. Second thing is, you do not want to be the guy who takes some course in your 3rd semester and then you don't like it, so you switch to something else in the 4th semester. Because then that leaves you with a really bad situation because whatever you take in the 4th semester, you have to stick with it if you have to complete the minor. If you have got 6 sems and you have to complete 5 courses. If you are wasting your 3rd sem, you don't really have a choice. So that's what I like. Choose wisely, talk to people, people who have done the minors, who have completed the minors, because you'll find many people who have done 1 or 2 courses in a particular minor but then don't go all the way. So that's really important.
The course runs parallel with the course genetics, which is taken up by PhD students. So in all your courses here, either you will be doing your minor with the PhD or MSc or the MTech students. Rarely a course runs which is only for the minor students. There is only one which is genetic engineering. So in molecular cell biology, you will be firstly covering genetics, the several aspects, Mendel's law, dominance, codominance, incomplete dominance, and then you will be moving up to systems like metabolism, and how do DNA segregation takes place, etc. So, as I said before, in all of the courses you need to attend the lectures because the professors are going to provide you with slides, but the slides only contains the images and very less theory. So if you don't know the theory behind them, you are not going to write anything, and the professors ask only on the basis of what they teach in class. The next course which I want to tell about will be the bioenergetics and metabolism, where you will be doing a bit of thermodynamics of various reactions and glycolysis, Krebs cycle, electron transport in very detail. Next course which runs is molecular biology, which is much like your DB 101, DNA metabolism, replication, transcription, translation, and it runs in very detail. It runs with MSc courses. The MSc people have the background from their BSc part, so you need to be very attentive to the lectures to grasp the concepts, else you won't be able to answer in exams. The next course which runs in SEM, will be genetic engineering. So genetic engineering, molecular biology used to be a prerequisite, but now it has been removed. But I'll be telling you all that you all should take genetic engineering only after you do molecular biology, because genetic engineering takes some concepts from the previous course, molecular biology. You'll be learning about gene cloning, how to make the DNA, how to make an organism out of your choices. Then you will do the course physiology for engineers. So this course will be much like the biology. you do in school. So here you will have to know things. Here you need to know about various systems, what each organ functions for, what is the function of the fluid, what is the function of a particular hormone. So this is like your school biology, and you need to learn each and everything. Like there will be even cases where you need to learn the name of 12 nerves, each from start to bottom and in a same order. You can't even disturb the order. The next courses will be molecular enzymology, which will be more like molecular cell biology, but in a lot of details where you will be discussing about proteins, hormones, their metabolism, the kinetics of reactions in the body. Then you have biomedical microsystems. So this is a very famous course. People tend to tag it as institute elective, as the prof gives a lot of A grades here. But here also you need to be very attentive because there are projects which are given in the exam itself which you need to solve. And the last course is molecular biophysics, which runs by now. And this course is a very difficult course in the sense that you will be doing thermodynamics and protein folding metabolism. And the slides contain details only from the research papers and only images. So, one suggestion from my side will be to take biology minor only if you have interest in biology. If you think that you can pass through the courses, then I tell you it's going to be very difficult for you all if you don't understand even a single thing. Like if you miss a particular class, then it's going to cost you the entire topic, the subject and the courses run at that pace.
Hi guys, I'm Ishmita. So I've done a minor in HSS department. So HSS is a little different from every other department because even within the department there are different subjects, different subjects that you can choose to take courses in. So HSS is basically composed of five subjects, that is sociology, philosophy, psychology, literature, and economics. So each sem there are a bunch of courses that are run in each of these subjects. There might be a semester where there may not be a course in each subject. So like there can be a semester where there won't be any philosophy course. So you can pick your own basket of HSS courses. So this also means that if two people are doing an HSS minor, the courses that they have taken can be completely different. So, however, there are some compulsory HSS courses that everyone has to do. So, these are mostly two courses. First is the HS 101 course, which is a basic economics course. Most people do it in their third sem, except for chemical sophies, they have to do it in their fourth sem. And the other HSS course is the 3XS course, which you do in your third year, except for chemical people who do it in the second year. So, I have mostly done lit and economic courses, so I can tell you about those. So, talking about economics first, so the basic course HS 101 is very important for an economics minor because most professors won't allow you to sit in their classes if you haven't done an HS 101 course. So, chemical sophies can only start this minor in their third, like can only start economics courses for an HSS minor in their third year. So, there are some very basic concepts that are taught in HS 101 and most professors will not repeat those courses, will not repeat those concepts in any other course. So you should do this minor because economics helps you to gain an understanding of how the world around you works, like how companies work, even how governments work, why certain policies work and why certain policies don't, right? So, and it also helps you with the non-core profile. And there are a bunch of different courses that are offered in economics. So you can just go to the HSS website and look at the course description. Professors are also very helpful. So it actually works if you email a professor before you take a course if you're unsure of the difficulty level of the course. So there might be courses which are 4XS, but you can still take them in your second year. So it's a good idea to talk to the professor and find out whether it's a course that you can take at the level of knowledge that you have. Coming to lit courses are highly dependent on the professors who take it. So, if you're deciding which course to take and which not to take, it's a good idea to look at who's taking the course for you. So, if there is a course called reading fiction that is running in two consecutive semesters, it will be a completely different course because lit is mostly dependent on the stories or the literature that is being read in the course. So, you can in fact take the same course twice and it will be completely different. So, in lit courses especially, you should not miss the classes because the course content is basically revolves around the discussions that are done in the class, and there's no way to substitute whatever the prof tells you in the class. So, so these courses, and they are very scoring if you are attending classes. best way to tackle a lit course is just by attending classes. And these courses, I mean, mostly you should just take it out of interest if you're interested in reading or in literature. There's no particular value that you're getting out of it, just apart from the fact that you're getting to read different stuff. And generally, these professors try to bring out pieces that you will never come across unless you take the course. So you'll probably get to read a bit of translated Mexican writing, which you will never come across or never even